Hello, dear students. I am Aditya Gupta, and a very warm welcome to this lecture. I think this will be the final lecture on this chapters of linear, pair of linear equations in two variables. So let us get started. Earlier, we have seen all the methods that we have to solve these kinds of equations, including cross multiplication method, graphical method, substitution method, and elimination method. Now we in this chapter we'll be taking a look at some word problems and some equations that are reducible to linear equations. Okay, so let's get started. Reducible means that they can be converted to linear equations, then they can be easily solved. Okay, so for solving daily life problems with the help of simultaneous linear equations in two variables, or equations reducible to them, proceed as represent the unknown quantities by some variables x and y. This is not same, okay, this is some variables x and y which are to be determined. Find the conditions given in the problem, translate the verbal conditions into a pair of simultaneous linear equations, solve these equations and obtain the required quantities with appropriate units. That's pretty much it. That is all there is to solving daily life word problems. What we need to be able to do is to transform the given language in the form of English language, whatever statements they've written, to convert them into mathematical equations. That's it. After that, the question becomes pretty easy, right? So let us have a look here at this question. The sum of digits of a two-digit number is 9. Also, 9 times the number is twice the number obtained by reversing the order of the digits. Find the number. So let's say unit digit is y, tens digit is x of the number. Then sum of the digits is 9. So x plus y is 9. 9 times the number. Now, how will you represent the number? How will you write this number? Y plus 10y, 10x, okay, in expanded form is twice the number obtained by reversing. So on reversing, you will get yx. So this number can be represented as x plus 10y in expanded form. So just find the number. That's pretty easy, very easy question, because what I can now do is 90x plus 9y is equal to 20y plus 2x we are getting, right? So this and this will become 88x is equal to this and this will become 20 minus 9 will be 11y. On cancelling by 11, we are getting y is equal to 8x, right? Now substitute this value in this equation. We are getting x plus 8x is equal to 9. So x comes out to be 1, because 9x is equal to 9, right? So x should be 1 and y will be equal to 8. So the number that we are getting is how much? 1, 8, 18 will be the correct answer. Okay. So I hope this was clear how we converted the given word problem into a pair of linear equations and solved it pretty easily. And let us have a look at the answer as well. They have done the same thing. X plus y is 9. So after reversing, the number is this. Earlier, the number was this much. Equation they formed, they solved it. They finally got the answer 18. That's pretty much it. Now let us have a look at another question. 1 by, so let me write it like this. 1 by 2x minus 1 by y is equal to minus 1. 1 by x plus 1 by 2 y is equal to 8. Now what we'll do here is that what we can do is let us substitute 1 by x as u and 1 by y as v. So doing that, how does that help us? Let's see. This we can now write as u upon 2, correct? Minus v is equal to minus 1. This we can write as u plus v by 2 is equal to 8. Now this is very easy to solve, correct? We can simply solve it. Let's say from here I write, let's say u is equal to twice of v minus 1. This we can write, correct? Now substitute this from this equation. We have written this. Now substitute this value of u in this equation. So what are we getting? We are getting 2v minus 2. Okay, on opening this will become 2v minus 2 plus v by 2 is equal to 8. Correct? So what are we getting then? 8 plus 2 will be 10 and 2v plus v by 2 will be 5 by 2 times v, because 2 plus half is 5 by 2, right? Cancel, v is equal to 2 2s are 4. So how much will be u then? From this or from this equation, u will be 2 threes are 6. So u will be 6. So what can I say about, but what is u actually? U is 1 by x, but u is also 6. So from this equation, x is 1 by 6. And v is also equal to 1 by y, but it is also equal to 4 from here, right? So y will be 1 by 4, which is our answer. Okay, so I hope you all were able to understand how we reduced this given equation into a linear equation, pair of linear equations, right? Earlier, this was not a pair of linear equations in variables x and y, but we, doing this substitution, this clever substitution, we were able to reduce it or convert it into a pair of linear equations which we could easily solve, and using that we were also able to find x and y finally, right? So that's pretty much the solution given here as well. X equal to 1 by 6, y equal to 1 by 4. We have substituted 1 by x equal to u, 1 by y is equal to v. Equations we have formed, we have solved them by elimination. We can solve any method we can use, hardly matters. And then finally we realized that u was not only equal to 6 but also to 1 by x, so x comes out to be 1 by 6. So exact same method that we have followed. Now let us have a look at this, another very good question. Ramesh travels this much to his home partly by train, partly by car. He takes 8 hours. If he travels this much by train and the rest by car, he take 12 more minutes if he travels 240 kilometer. Okay, by train, rest by car, find the speed of the train and the car. Pretty easy question if you just know one formula, that distance is equal to speed into time if acceleration is zero. Okay, that's something to be kept in mind. But anyway, of course a train will travel at a constant speed, it will not accelerate. That's something that is usually assumed. Okay, so we are going to be assuming constant speed of the train and car so that we can apply distance is equal to speed into time formula. Okay, and anyway that has to be assumed because that's why only it is asking us to find the speed. Otherwise we couldn't have found only the speed if it was not constant. Okay, so let us say the speed of the train is t, speed of the car is c. So look, 760 kilometers total he is going to be traveling, right? So he takes 8 hours if he travels 160 kilometer by train and the rest by car. So look, distance is equal to speed upon time. So time will be equal to distance upon speed, correct? Now look, total time here he is taking 8 hours. So 8. Now how is he spending those 8 hours? He is spending 8 hours. Out of 8 hours, sometime he is traveling by train. So for how much time did he travel in the train? He traveled for a time, distance upon speed. What is the speed of train? It is t. What is the distance he traveled using train? 160 kilometer. Okay, plus the remaining time he traveled using the car. So what is the, once again using this formula, how much time will he spend in the car? Divided by the speed of car. Okay, and what will come in the distance? So he has already traveled this much. So how much distance will remain? 760 minus 160 distance will be remaining, which he will have to travel by car. So we have written first equation. Second equation, what can we say? He takes 12 minutes more if he travels so. So 12 minutes more means 8 hours plus 12 upon 60 hours, right? Obviously, we have to make sure that the units are same, right? If this is in hours, then this also has to be in hours only. So that's why we have converted 12 minutes into hours. By dividing by 60, we have done that. So this time would be equal to 240 kilometer by train. So time taken inside train would be distance upon speed of train. Then how much distance will remain? This much will remain. That he travels by car, so this much time he spends using car. Okay, so now how can we solve this given equation? It's actually very easy. 1 by t we can put as x, 1 by c you can put y. reduced to linear equations and can be easily solved. So let us have a look now. Let us try to solve it. So first of all, on simplifying, what are these becoming actually? So let me write on a new page. 8 is equal to how much? 160 by t plus, what is 760 minus 160? It will be 600, I think, right? 600 by c. And second equation is becoming 8 plus 1 by 5. Okay, 8 plus 1 by 5. So 8 plus 1 by 5 is how much? Because look, this will obviously cancel out, right? By 5. And what is 8 plus 1 by 5? It will be 41 by 5. This is equal to how much? 240 by t. Okay. Plus, uh, how much is it coming out? 520 by c. Okay. So that's what we are getting. Now, obviously here I can divide by 8 or cancel by 8, or in other words, just multiply the equation both sides by 1 by 8, okay? Or in fact 1 by 4 or 800. What should we do? Let's see. Yeah, I think it might be divisible by 8, so it is fine. We can divide, we can multiply both sides by 1 by 8, no problem. So this will give us 1 here. And look, what is 1 by 8 into, look, 1 by 8 into 1 by 60 by t plus 1 by 8 into 600 by c. So this is actually giving us 1 is equal to 20 by t, because obviously that's how it will cancel, plus how much times will this cancel out? So let's say I cancel by 4 and then by 2, so 75 it will give us 75 by, okay, I have done a small mistake here, it should be c, right? So let me just correct that. That's it. So this is the equation that we have, and this will remain as it is. There will be no no cancellations here, I think, right? So now what we can do for these two equations is, let us say I put 1 by t equal to x, I put 1 by c equal to y. So these equations transform into this. 41 by 5 is equal to 240x plus. Because look, the reason we can write it in this manner is because look, what is 240 by t, or what is a by t in general? It is a into 1 by t, right? Correct. So that's why, and 1 by t, if I have put x, it will become a into x, right? So in this case, a value is 240 now. So a upon t will be a into x. That's what I have written. Similarly, 520 upon c will can be written as 520 into 1 by c, which will become, because 1 by c is y, correct? This equation, how much, what does it become? 1 is equal to 20 into 1 by t, so it will become x plus 75y. That's what we are getting. Now we can just solve them for x and y. So one of the ways can be just eliminating x maybe. So let us say I multiply both sides by how much? 12. Let's say I multiply here. So I will get 12 is equal to 240x plus how much is 75 into 12 now? So I think let's write it like this: 75 into 4 into 3. How much is 70? It will be 300. So 900y. Now from this equation, let us subtract this equation. So what are we going to get? 240x will get cancelled, and 900y minus 520y will be how much? 90 minus 52 is how much actually? 90 minus 52 is 38, right? So that's what we are getting, this minus this. And what are we getting? 12 minus 41 by 5. So let me write it like this, taking LCM. It will actually become 60 minus 41, which is 19, of course. Correct. Upon 5. On easily you can see that, okay, don't worry, I will do it properly so that you all understand. What I'm saying is, till now we have arrived at this result, right? Now from this we can say y is equal to 19 upon 5 into 380, and 380 can also be cancelled, okay, now by 19, so 20 it will become, okay. So y is equal to 1 by 100 because 20 into 5 is 100, right? So this is 1 by 100. So 1 by c equal to 1 by 100. So on cross multiplication, what are we getting? C equal to 100. How will we now find the value of t? There are so many methods. In this equation, let's say you put the value of y as 1 upon 100. So what are we getting? We are getting, okay, let me write it on the next slide so that it is clear. Okay, so 1 is equal to 20x plus 75 into y. This is what we arrived, right? So this becomes 3 by 4, of course. So 20x is equal to 1 minus 3 by 4, which is 1 by 4. So x comes out to be 1 by 80. Okay, but x was also equal to how much? 1 by t. From here you can see, right? That's what we had substituted. So 1 by t. So from this equation, when we cross multiply, we are getting t is equal to 80, which is the answer also. One important thing to note is that what will be the units of these speeds? It will be kilometer per hour. How do we know that? Because in the equations that we had formed, the time was in hours, 8 hours, 8 plus 1 by 5 hours, right? Distance was in kilometers. So the speed will come out to be in kilometers per hour. So that our speed of the train will be 80 kilometer per hour and 100 kilometer per hour will be the speed of car that we had driven. So that's pretty much what's given in the solution as well, that these equations will be solved, and solving them we'll get the value of x and y. And of course, we have solved it completely here. They have not shown the method of solving, but we have, completely solved the question. What we have assumed as 1 by t, we should keep x, 1 by y, 1 by c, we have put y, and then we have easily solved it. So this is the proper method of solving the question. Now let us have a look at this. Another very good question. Oftentimes students get confused in these kind of questions where work and time are involved. So let's have a look at this question properly. We'll try to understand. 2 women and 5 men can together finish an embroidery work in 4 days, while 3 women, 6 men can finish it in 3 days. Find the time taken by 1 woman alone to finish the work, and also that taken by 1 man alone. Very, very good question, no doubt about that. So look, please understand what I'm saying carefully. Let us say 1 man in 1 day can complete x amount of work. Okay, x amount of work he is able to complete. So amount of work he is able to complete x only in 1 day. Then what can we say? We can say that p men in 1 day, how much work will they complete? So obviously, if 1 man is able to complete this much work, then p men together will complete p times x work. That is the most obvious thing. Now, if p men in 1 day can complete this much work, then how much work can p men do in n days, let's say? So obviously, if this group of people can complete this much work in 1 day, then in n days, how much work will they complete? So obviously, n times the amount of work they were doing in 1 day only. So npx, okay. Same goes for women, that if one woman in 1 day completes y amount of work, then m woman, or yeah, n woman in any number of days, let's say r days, will complete how much work? Using the same logic, it will be mry. Okay, that's what we are saying. Now that we have understood this thing, what are we given here? 2 men, 2 women, and 5 men can work together finish an embroidery work in 4 days. Okay, so look, please understand what it means. Let us say the total embroidery work is w. The total amount of work is w, let's say. So w is how much now? Look, 2 women will complete how much work in 4 days? Any idea? Look, m women in our days complete this much work. So the value of m is 2, right? 2, right? R value is 4 because 4 days they are working. So total work that the women will be able to complete would be 2 into 4 into y. Okay, using this logic. Plus, how much work will the 5 men complete in 4 days? 5 into 4 into x. Correct? Using this logic, that p men in n days will complete this much work. So the total amount of work that they have together completed will obviously be equal to the total amount of work that had to be completed, right? Now, 3 women and 6 men can finish the same work in 3 days. So the total amount of work can also be written as what? It can be written as, look. 3 women in 3 days, how much work they will complete? 3 into 3 into y, obviously, because using the same logic. Okay, and how much work will 6 men deliver in 3 days? So 6 into 3 into x. So that's what we are getting. So two equations we are getting. W equal to 8y plus 20x, but W is also equal to 9y plus 18x. Correct? So this is what we are obtaining. Now look, what can we say? It is asking find the time taken by one woman alone to finish the work. So please understand this carefully. Let us assume that one woman, look. Let us say the time taken by one woman alone, let's say it is t days. I am assuming that it is t days. So look, please understand carefully. How much work will one woman complete in t days? Using this logic, she will obviously complete 1 into t into y work. I hope this is clear to everyone. This is important to understand, okay? How much work will she complete in 1 day? Look, in t days. So look, it is actually woman, not women. Okay, so one woman, if I have assumed that she will take t days to complete the entire work, then in t days, how much work can she produce? One woman in t days, she can produce 1 into t into y, correct? So that's what I have written. And since I have assumed that in t days she can alone complete the entire work, this amount of work should obviously equal to W, should obviously be equal to W, because W is the total amount of work that has to be completed. That's what we have assumed anyway in the beginning. So this amount of work that she has completed in t days should be equal to the total amount of work that had to be completed. So look, what are we getting? W is equal to Ty equation we have got, because 1 into 2 into y is Ty only. Okay. Now, from this equation, what are we getting? This equation, let's see what we are getting. 8y plus 20x is equal to 9y plus 18x. Obviously, this goes here, it becomes only y, and here 20x minus 18x, 2x. That's what we are getting now. Now what? Now we can say, please understand this carefully, that W is equal to, this was all equal to W also, right? By the way. And from this equation, we have obtained this. So now we can write W is equal to 8 into, instead of y, I can substitute 2x. So 8 into 2x plus 20x. Okay, let me write it a little bit properly here. Yeah, so 8 into 2x plus 20x. So how much is it becoming? Let's see, 16x plus 20x. So W is coming out to be 36x. Okay. Now look, in this relation, we also had W equal to Ty. So W is also equal to Ty. So how much is T? 36x by Y. But how much is Y? 2x. X and x cancel. This and this also cancel. So T equal to 18. T equal to 18 means one woman alone could have completed in 18 days. This is the answer. Okay, she could have done this in 18 days. Now we also have to find how much work, how much time would one man take alone to complete the entire work. So let us say he would have taken, what should we assume? Let's say he would have taken D days. Okay, let's say D days he would have taken. Then what can we say? We can say that one man in D days can produce 1 into D into X work. But since we have assumed that in D days he completes the entire work, so the amount of work that he has done should be equal to the entire work. So we are getting D is equal to W upon X. How much was W anyway? It was 36X. Upon X, X and X get cancelled, 36. So one man could have completed it in 36 days. That is the answer to our question. 36 days. Okay, so this was a very good question, but I hope I was able to make it clear to all of you as to how this question should actually be done. In some textbooks, you will also find the solution of this question using inverse proportions and things like capacity, etc. But those are the most confusing concepts ever. You should never try to go by those methods because those are absolutely unreliable methods. The way we have done is the only sure method, foolproof method, that this will never go wrong no matter what. This method that we have used will never produce any mistake and will, no matter how hard the question, this method will always give us the answer. So I recommend all of you to understand this method that we have used, okay, so that no matter how hard the question is, simple logic we can apply and solve the question. Because inverse proportions, they actually are not that easy. Okay, inverse proportion, it is not easy to work with them. Okay, you will never know how we should actually use them. Okay, and when they actually work and when they don't work. And but these equations don't lie. The best thing is that the method that we have used, the equations don't lie. So there is zero probability of getting a mistake using this method, right? So that's why I would highly recommend you to drop all other techniques, all other methods that might be given in any textbook. Don't bother reading them. Just understand this logic that I have told and try to solve by these. You will never go wrong. Okay, it is impossible to get a wrong answer using this method. Fine. Okay, now let us have a look at another very good question. This question is basically telling us a boat goes 30 km upstream and 44 km downstream in 10 hours. In 13 hours, it can go 40 km upstream and 55 km downstream. Determine the speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. So how can we do this question? It is pretty easy. Just one thing we need to know. First of all, what is upstream? Look. I'll tell you what we mean by upstream. Let us say there is a river that is flowing like this. In this direction, river is flowing. And let us say the speed of the stream or the river and stream, by the way, are the same thing. Okay. River and stream are the same thing. So let us say river is flowing in this direction. Let us say with a speed of how much? I will assume it is river speed. So r speed I have assumed. And let us say you are traveling in this direction, opposite to the river. Then this means upstream. Okay. This means you are traveling upstream. And if you are traveling in the same direction as that of the river, then it means what? It means you are traveling downstream. Okay. That's what we mean. Now, one thing we should know is that if speed of boat in still water is b, then speed of boat upstream in upstream journey would be equal to b minus r. Okay, the reason is look, because the river is traveling like this, whereas we are traveling opposite. So velocities will get subtracted, right? From the speed of boat, we will have to subtract speed of river. Okay. because we will have to do that. We will have to subtract the speed of water, okay, because it is traveling in the opposite direction, so our speed will be reduced, of course. So we have subtracted the speed of boat when it is traveling downstream would be equal to b plus r, because now both of them are traveling in the same direction only, so obviously the speeds will get added because they are in the same direction, so our speed will increase, right? So that's the logic we are using. After this, the question is very, very easy. Why is it easy? Let's see. So look, a boat goes 30 kilometer upstream and 44 kilometer downstream. So this entire journey it covers in 10 hours. So look, once again we should know the formula. Distance is equal to speed into time, and from here time is equal to distance upon speed. So the total time of 10 hours that it took, what can we write as? Time taken in upstream journey plus time taken in downstream journey. Time taken in upstream journey would be equal to distance upon speed. What is the distance? 30 kilometer. What will be the speed of a boat when it is traveling upstream? It will be equal to b minus r. Okay, plus the time taken in downstream journey, distance upon speed in downstream journey, which will be b plus r, right? So that's what we are getting. Now we can of course multiply both sides by half, because 10, 30, 44 all are being cancelled by 2, right? So just to simplify, let us multiply by half on both the sides. So we will get 5 is equal to 15 upon b minus r plus 22 upon b plus r. That's what we are getting. Now after this, what else do we have? It can go 40 kilo in 13 hours. It can go this much, this much, this much. So 13-hour time it spends on downstream. How on upstream? How much will it spend the time? Distance upon speed in the upstream journey. So b minus r plus in upstream journey it will spend distance upon speed in upstream in downstream journey. So that's how the total time spent will come out, which is given to be 13 hours, correct? Now, how will we solve these two equations? That is the big challenge. How do we solve these equations, these two equations? Any idea? Okay, let me only tell you how we can solve this. We know that this can be written as 5 is equal to 15 into 1 upon b minus r, I can write, correct? Plus 22 into 1 upon b plus r, we can write. Then the second equation that we are having is 13 is equal to, now 40 upon b minus r I can write as 40 into 1 upon b minus r plus 55 upon b plus r I can write as into 1 upon b plus r. Correct. Now, what should we substitute? To reduce it into a pair of linear equations, we can substitute x is equal to 1 upon b minus r, y is equal to 1 upon b plus r. So doing that, what are we getting? We are getting 5 is equal to 15x plus 22y, and this equation becomes 13 is equal to 40x plus 15y. That's what we are getting. Solving this is a child's play, very, very easy. So what I can do is that I can write y is equal to 5 minus 15x upon 22 and substitute this value in this equation. So what are we getting? 13 is equal to 40x plus 55 into y value I will substitute as this thing. On cancelling by 11, we are getting 2 and 5. Then I can, now what can I do? Let us say I multiply both sides of the equation by 2 to get rid of this 2, right? So if you multiply by 2, you will get 2 into 13 is equal to 2 into 40x plus 2 into 5 into 5 minus 15x by 2. So this 2 and 2 get cancelled. So what are we getting? 26 is equal to 80x plus 25 minus 75x, right? I have just opened this bracket, okay? 5 5s are 25, minus 70, 15 5s are 75, so that's what we are getting. Now 26 minus 25 is equal to 1, and 80 minus 75x is how much? 5x. So we are getting x is equal to 1 by 5. Now substituting this value of x equation, we will also get the value of y as how much are we getting? Look, 5 minus 15 into 1 by 5 whole divided by 22. How much is this becoming? 5 minus 3, sorry, yeah, 5 minus 3, because this will cancel as 3 only, right? So upon 22, 2 upon 22. So y, how much are we getting? 1 upon 11, okay? Because 2 upon 22 is 1 upon 11. So y is 1 upon 11 that we are obtaining. Now what can we do? We will simply replace the value of x as 1 upon b minus r. So look, x is how much? 1 by 5. But x is also equal to 1 upon b minus r. So this equation we are obtaining. Y is equal to how much? 1 by 11. But it is also equal to 1 upon b plus r. Using this. Okay. So from this equation, how will we solve these? Just cross multiply. So what are we getting? 5 is equal to b minus r. Here what are we getting? B plus r is equal to 11. How now? Once again, these are linear equations, pair of linear equations in two variables b and r. How will we solve them? Many methods are there. Right now it seems elimination would be the easiest. So adding them, what are we getting? We are getting 16 is equal to r and r get cancelled. B and b will give us b plus b is 2b. So b will be 16 by 2, which is 8. And of course 11, if you put the value of b here, you are getting r is equal to 3. So that's the answer. The speed of river or the stream is 3 kilometer per hour. Speed of boat in still water is 8 kilometer per hour. So that's the answer. And why are the units kilometer per hour? Because when we made these equations, just a second, this was time was in hours and distance was in kilometers. So that's why the speed will obviously be in kilometers per hour. And that's how we have got the speed of the stream as well as the speed of boat in still water. Okay, so I hope this was clear to all of you. Now let's have a look at these questions. Find two numbers such that the sum of twice the first and thrice, okay, sum of twice the first and thrice the second, okay, is 89. Okay, so let's assume the numbers are x and y. So twice the first, sum of twice the first and thrice the second, sum is 89, and 4 times the first exceeds 5 times the second by 13. So 5 times the second, it exceeds by 13. So this is 13. For example, if I ask you 20 exceeds 18 by how much? Obviously 2. It exceeds means more by how much? So 20 is obviously 2 more than 18, right? So it exceeds this this number by 13. Okay. So these two equations we have found. Easily you can solve them yourself. I think elimination would be very easy. Just multiply it by 2 and then subtract. I think x will be eliminated. Question will be solved. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what we got to do here in this question. And it can be easily solved. I think the answer will come out to be how much? 178 minus 13 will be how much? 165, and by 11 will be 15. So I think one of the numbers will be 15. So look, if you have enough practice, just like I have a lot of practice, so I could just mentally solve and tell you one of the numbers will be 15, and in the answer also, look, one of the numbers is actually 15. So when you will have enough practice, even you will be able to do that, but right now you can just solve by proper steps and method. But when you will have enough practice, you will also be able to solve directly. Okay, so that's how we can easily solve this question. What about this second practice problem? A and B are friends. Their ages differ by 2 years. A's father is twice as old as A. Okay. So look, A and B are friends. Their ages are, and we have to find ages of A and B. So let's say A's age is A, B's age is B. So ages differ by 2 years. Okay, so 2 years. Okay, so there are basically fine. Just a second. A's father is twice as old as A. So D's age would be 2A, right? B is twice as old as his sister C. Okay. So look, please understand this carefully. Their ages differ by 2 years means A minus B is equal to 2. And now please understand this carefully. B is twice as old as his sister C. So let's say if his sister's age is C, then B is equal to twice C. Okay, that's something that is given to us. The age of D and C differ by 40 years. So D minus C is 40, but D value I already know is 2A, right? So D minus C is how much? 40. Find the ages of A and B. What we can do now is I can substitute the value of C as B by 2. Okay. From here I can write C equal to B by 2, right? So if I put that here, 2A minus B by 2 equal to 40. Multiply both sides by 2, we are getting 4A minus B. 4A minus B is equal to 80. Why is that? Because of course, if I'll multiply both sides by 2, this will become 80. This will become 4A minus B. Okay, that's why. Now from this equation, I can say A is equal to B plus 2. So what can we do? Substitute this value. Okay, just we can send B here. So 80 plus B, okay, is equal to 4 into A. What is 4 into A? It will be 4 into B plus 2. So we are getting 4B plus 8, okay, is equal to, we are going to get 80 plus B. Okay, is it fine? 4B plus 8 is equal to 80 plus B. 4B minus B will be 3B. 80 minus 8 is 72. So B comes out to be 72 by 3, which is 24, I think. That's what we will be getting, right? So B's age is 24 and A's age will be 24 plus 2, 26. So 26 years of age and 24 years of age will be the correct answer. So I hope that you were able to understand this question clearly. And of course, in our answer also, we are given the same thing, 26 and 24 will be the ages. Okay, now this also is a very, very good question. Let us have a look how to solve this. So we are given the equations 2y, okay, let me write it here, 2y plus x by 3 is equal to xy by 5, and second equation we are given 3y plus 2xy, 3y, just a second, plus 2x by 3 is equal to how much? This is given to be 2xy, okay. So 2xy we have written here. Now how will we solve this? Well, this is a very tricky problem, no doubt about that, because right now this is not even a linear equation, so we might not know how to solve it. So what can be done then? There are two methods. Look, one method is that we can write xy is equal to 5 times this thing, and xy is also equal to this thing by 2, so we can equate that and get a relation between x and y, and then it will be easily solved. Another way can be to first multiply both sides by 1 upon xy. So how does that help? Let us see. This is what we get, right? So this becomes, now when you open this bracket, you will get 2y upon xy, which is 2 upon x only, and 1 by xy into x by 3. So xx will cancel, so 1 upon 3 by equal to 1 upon 5, because xy get cancelled, right? Similarly, here also we do the same thing. 1 by xy, we multiply, so both sides. So how will it open? It will open like this, right? I hope you are understanding this point. that 1 by xy we have multiplied both the sides. Okay, so doing this, what are we getting? 2 is equal to y and y get cancelled, so 3 by x and x get cancelled, so 2 upon 3y. So these two equations we are getting. Now these are easily seen that they are easily reducible to linear equations. 1 by x you can put t, and you can put 1 upon y. So the equations become, this can now look, 2 upon x can obviously written as 2 into 1 by x, right? And 1 by x is t, so 2t plus, similarly this can be written as u upon 3 is equal to 1 by 5. This equation can be written as 3 into 1 by x, so that is 3t only, plus 2 by 3 into 1 by y, which is u, is equal to 2. Okay, so what can we do now? One of the ways that I can see is multiply this by 2 and subtract, elimination, right? So on multiplying by 2, what are we getting? We are getting 4t plus 2u by 3 is equal to 2 by 5. And then 2 by 3u is here also, 2 by 3u is here also. So don't you think we should subtract? So from this equation, if I subtract this equation, we are getting 2u by 3 will get cancelled, right? But 4t minus 3t is t, and 2 by 5, what are we getting here? 2 by 5 minus 2. I hope I have written correctly. Yes, 2 by 5 minus 2 on the RHS we are getting. So this on taking LCM, what are we getting? T comes out to be, okay, let me use a new slide here. Okay, so what are we getting? T is equal to 2 minus 10. So it will be minus 8 by 5, right? And how much will be u? So let us use this equation. Let us use this equation. 2 into t. So look, 2 into t plus u by 3 is equal to 1 by 5. 1 by 5. So here what are we getting? We are getting a minus 16 by 5 is equal to plus, sorry, u by 3 is equal to 1 by 5. If you send it here, you are getting u by 3 is equal to 17 by 5, I think. Yes, because 1 plus 16 will be 17. So u we are getting as 51 by 5. Now note that t was equal to 1 by x also. So this is equal to 1 by x. So x will be equal to, look, if minus 8 by 5 is 1 by x, just cross multiply. Okay, so minus 8x equal to 5. So x will be how much? Minus 5 by 8. Okay, this negative sign you can take here, and then this we have got. What about this? U is equal to 1 by y, I think. Yes, yes. So 1 by y. So on cross multiplication, we are getting 51y is equal to 5, or y is equal to 5 upon 51. Okay. But what is it that's being asked? We are being asked y is equal to ax minus 2. Okay. So y is equal to ax minus 2. Then how much is a? So this is also a pretty easy question. What we can do is that the value of y you put here, and equal to a into minus 5 by 8 minus 2. So what are we getting then? This 2 you take here, so 5 upon 51 plus 2. How will you add this 2 now? Let us take the LCM. Equal to minus 5a by 8. So what are we getting then? This becomes 107 by 51 equal to minus 5a by 8. So finally, what are we getting? Finally, we will be getting, look, let us simplify this. 8 into 107, look, a will be equal to, cross multiplication we are doing, basically 8 I am sending here, 5 I am minus 5 I am sending here. So 107 into 8, 107 into 8 upon minus 5 into 251. So minus 5 into, sorry, 51, not 251. Okay. So that's pretty much it. So how much are we getting? This negative sign can be taken above. So outside, so 255, I think we'll get. And what is this? 56, 856. So that's the value. That is the answer to this question. that a will be equal to minus 856 upon 255. Okay, what a brilliant question. That first we had to, think about reducing it to a linear pair of equation, find the value of t and u, then find the value of x and y, then also the question is not solved, then we have to find a using this equation. Such a brilliant question. Okay, so I hope you, and yeah, this is the answer as well. So I hope you are able to understand all of this, follow these methods, and understand how we can, to use these techniques of solving linear pair of equations even to the seemingly, equations that are not linear equation, even how we can apply to them also these techniques by converting them or reducing them to linear equations, right? So thank you everyone, a lot, thanks a lot for watching this video, and I hope you found this interesting. Stay safe and enjoy, and bye bye, and have a great day.